Well, if it isn't Mr. Pigothy Oinkswell III. I recall you said you'd be live on Monday. How absolutely puckish of you, you cheeky little rascal. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to let you in with something. I'm not been diagnosed yet, but I am. I'm a man, I think. It hit me the other day. I can't do anything for a few days after the UFC events on the weekend. I'm ruined. I'm holding on by a thread. I am unable to function after covering the UFC events on the weekends. As a European MMA fan, it's just done its number on me. You know? It's really done its number on me, dude. When I was about 11, it's about 11 a.m. and I'm full of energy. Full of energy from the main event that's just happened at 6 or 7 a.m. 11 a.m. and I'm thinking about next matchups. Oh, there's going to be a good... Tom Aspinall just become champ. I need to stop getting this news at 10 a.m. on a Saturday while I'm still awake. Because I'm just full of energy until about 4 p.m. on Sunday. And I still streamed on Sunday, but it just takes its toll, man. Moving to the US, that's it. Lucas and Bedtime will make vids complaining about the UFC every week, but will root for Rank to beat Alex. And Bilal to beat JDM. Even though they didn't, but they were rooting for Bilal to get the title in the first place. And that's what I'm saying, man. Weird, isn't it? Very self-destructive mentality there. And Marab, yeah, it is what it is, man. I get it. People root for their picks, really. That's more than anything else. Any other thing to look into there is that most people just root for their picks. I root for fun, even if it's against my pick. That's all. Guru, have you seen John Wick? No, I haven't seen John Wick. No. People always ask me if I've seen that or tell me I should see it, but no, I've never seen John Wick. Guru, I cooked some fraud that made a shitty Jon Jones defense video about you on Twitter. I know you don't need to defend me on Twitter, but I did see that. Not your defense, but I saw someone tweeting it. Spinning Backfist even made a defense about me on Twitter for it. It was some guy saying that I'm brainwashing MMA fans about Jon Jones. It just is what it is. I don't care. Everything I'm showing is real information. I don't make it up. Otherwise, I'd be sued to oblivion. You know what I mean? People getting real mad about me showing and revealing public information. I was just surprised, but I'm brainwashing them with information. Real information that's out there. So I'm just brainwashing them with knowledge, apparently. I was surprised John was with a woman and everything else adds up. He hates women. I was surprised John was with a woman and everything else adds up. He hates women so much when he's under the influence, he can't help but hurt them. I'm telling you, dude, that's a very person thing. That's a very person thing. To be like drunk around women and get proper like angry. You know what I mean? And cause some absolute scene that you just can't help yourself with. I feel like that's a person thing. That makes ultimate sense. Dude, there'll never be an angrier, more risk of getting KO'd Jon Jones than when he's drunk around a woman. Violence-wise as well, not just, you know, relationship spat type of thing. Prayers for the poor souls that have to share a shower room with John the Raging Jones. It's fate worse than death. Thoughts on the Schizo Liver King versus Joe Rogan Instagram? I mean, it's just him getting headlines, dude. People just crash out these days and get headlines and get themselves back in the spotlight and never get arrested. I mean, he got angry and threatened Joe Rogan on a stream. I mean, world's going to move on. We're in a day nowadays where you can get exposed for being a on Twitter one week and then do something funny the next week and everyone completely forgets. So, it doesn't really matter, does it? Can't believe you haven't made a video about the Jon Jones DC Conor Poirier press conference. Jones was literally talking dirty to DC. I've seen it, and I've seen the thing, I'll make you my wife. They need to get Tom a fight announced ASAP. I know they can only do it as fast as his opponents accept it, but I still finally got Jones out of the way. I've seen a post about that on Twitter, people saying, oh, so much for activity then. Tom's targeting a return in October. What? I hate humans and how dumb they are. I'm superior to all with my brain, and that's why dictatorships need to make a comeback. Democracy is a failed concept. But these people are... There's no September pay-per-view. August is done. They're not going to add stuff to make it a good pay-per-view. They're going to separate it so there's one big fight per pay-per-view. That's what they've been doing. So they're going to make him fight earliest October, even if Tom's ready to go this weekend. They still wouldn't do it. Because that would make the card good. And they're not allowed to do that. Also, last time you talked to Colby, got to know if y'all are good or not. What was the last message that I ever sent to Colby Covington? I think he was the last one to message me. You guys just keep telling him that I'm shitting on him in your, in his live chat on his stream. What was the last message? Last message was, our chats are lying. Don't let them divide us. I got rage baited. And he said, I figured that could be a possibility. Fuck him and don't listen to anyone. Stay the course and keep being great. Me and Colby are like this, guys. Me and Colby, dude. Me and Colby go way back. This is what you guys don't understand. Dariush on money. I got money Moik. Ilya has the same grin of the Camel cigarettes guy. He does. He does do that. Hot take. Islam doesn't do well at 170. I don't think so either. I think JDM mops the floor with him and makes him poo himself in front of Habib. And then Habib slips in it. And they're both covered in poo in the center of the cage and everyone's laughing at them. And everyone starts spitting on them. And then they try and get up and leave, but they're slipping over in it. And they're landing in it even more. And they're making it worse. And everyone's laughing. And fucking spitting on them and pushing them. And then tasing them in their neck on the ground. And they're seizing up. Sorry. Anyway. I can see Charles taking the punches. I can't see it. Yeah. Also, does anyone actually care about the UFC BJJ? Not interested at all. I'm not interested either. It seems like a good premise. I'm more interested in CGI too. But it seems to do crazy good numbers. So, I don't know. UFC numbers are always weird. I don't believe 273... Chat. UFC BJJ 1, Mushemi versus Gabriel. Streamed 1 hour ago. 273,000 views. Do you believe that, chat? Do you really believe that? I know they live stream for free on YouTube. 273,000 views streamed an hour ago. Are they real? I was looking at the live chat earlier. It weren't moving like that at all. It wasn't moving like that kind of chat whatsoever. They had 90k, 80k live viewers. The chat weren't moving like 80k, 90k live viewers. So I don't know. Maybe there's just, maybe that's all. Maybe it's just all live viewers. Thumbnail, auto replays. I don't know how it works. But yeah, apparently it worked well for him. The real number's 6 million. I think it hit more like 270k. Sometimes I watch these fights and it looks like a guy who trains versus a guy who doesn't. From the skill and even their physique. Example, Wellmaker Matinho. I know. It does, doesn't it? Sometimes you're like, Matinho, why are you pursuing this dream? You know? It does get like that, where you are literally thinking to yourself, Chris Matinho, give it up. You can't throw a punch fast to shock someone. You know? It's remarkable how many of them are actually in the UFC like that as well. Alex Morono. He made an illustrious career in MMA. Insane. Am I wrong for finding Garn annoying as fuck? Bro sits around waiting for a title and then acts cool and nonchalant only to lose due to a lack of grappling. Or get dropped by Tuivasa. I've got Aspinall winning, but I could see Garn's weird fucking plot armor having him win this fucking fight. But no. He will lose, and I do not like the preferential treatment of him, man. It's fucking lame. He just sits on his ass waiting for title shots. It's so fucking... Your thoughts on Vitor Belfort getting abducted into the Hall of Fame? It's better than BJ Penn being abducted into the Hall of Fame. You thought it was a fucking UFO. I'll give it a 5. No, yeah, Vitor Belfort getting inducted. They're just going to put all of the OGs in there no matter how much they didn't or did accomplish. Is what it is, isn't it? I mean, they're this close of putting fucking Chang Li in the fucking Hall of Fame of the UFC. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they put Matt Riddle in there or something, you know what I mean? Does Jim Miller deserve Hall of Fame? Yes. Yes, he actually fucking does. Most UFC wins in all time, you're in the Hall of Fame. I know Jim Miller has never reached the peak of the sport by any means, but he's got the most wins in UFC history. And I believe tied for the most finishes in UFC history as well. So Yeah, Jim Miller definitely deserves something for that, right? If he ends his career on top with that much of a lead. I'm pretty sure Jim Miller's got like a 10-fight lead over second place. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Wow. Total fights, 46, Jim Miller. Second is Andrei Arlovsky at 42. Cerrone's at 38. Clay Guida's at 37. RDA's at 36. Then no one's catching him. RDA's the only active fighter still on the roster, and he's at 36. He ain't getting 10 more. And other than that, the most active, Neil Magny, Charles Oliveira at 34. Wins, 27 for Jim Miller. Oliveira's at 23. So that could be beaten maybe, but I doubt it. Poirier's at 22. Dude, that's actually insane from Jim Miller, you know. And up until Oliveira's last finish, he had the top finish record as well. Crazy. The short bus. No, not a short bus. Yuck. Just got another MMA Guru notification. Alright, we get it, man. People watching. Yeah, people watching on the bus. Buses were cool. Packed every time, but sometimes you get a seat. Not on the way home. That's got to be stopped, is it not? I don't understand that, how public transportation is always packed to the fucking brim. I don't know if anyone else is from a big city, but that used to really annoy me when I was younger from London. Getting on a bus, and it's like, oh, I guess I'll just wait for the next bus then. Like a cunt. Like I'll wait 20 minutes for the next one. This one's literally full of people. Then the next one comes along, and it's full of people. I'll just sit here for an hour then after work. I just won't get home. I just won't get home after work. That's how it'll happen. How are you supposed to function like that? Fuck, I don't miss that shit. I'm Guru's roommate. He hasn't done the dishes in months. Okay, fair enough. What's your opinion on Gene Silva versus Diego Lopes and Imavov versus KO matchups announced? I like the matchups. I'm going to make a video on it. I don't know. There's too many. They're announcing smaller things that aren't enough for a single video, but then all at once. Thank you for the $5. I like the matchups. I hate, though, the problem with the Gene Silva-Diego Lopes matchup, I was angry when I saw it. That's the problem with the Gene Silva-Diego Lopes matchup. We knew about Imavov versus Baralho. We knew about that one. But when I saw the Diego Lopes-Gene Silva matchup, I got angry. I got angry about it. I had to. Because I know it means Yair Rodriguez is getting a title shot. So I was furious about it. And Yair's turned down Diego Lopes as well. So if they do give him a title shot, we've never seen privilege like this. How are we doing today? We're doing good. Do you agree that Volk beats Arman and the rest of the lightweights? Yes. Thank you for the $2. I want it to be clear, yeah? If Yair Rodriguez takes a fight around the time of Diego Lopes versus Gene Silva, and it's not against Volk, that means Diego Lopes was right about him turning down the fight with him. Mexicans, you should absolutely unsupport Yair massively for not making that Diego Lopes matchup. If he gets a fight booked around the same time against like Arnold Allen, that means that Diego Lopes was right about him turning down the fight with him. Absolute fucking bitch Yair Rodriguez is. The only acceptable reason to turn that down is if he's got a title shot. And if the UFC are giving title shots, people turning down top contender fights. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm actually getting Mexican fatigue. I used to like them and think they were cool, but the way they're being treated by the powers that be, they're annoying me now. Oh shit, there's a whole fucking 50 more chunked in. Hang on. I got to speed up. No more intricacy in my answers. Aljo Ortega's announced. Who you got? Stupid fucking dumb fucking bullshit fucking fight. I hate the UFC. They're shit at matchmaking, and I think that Aljo's gonna win. I'll give it a 5 Australian. I could see Yuri beating Ankalaev. Am I silly Billy for picking Rodriguez over Holland? Who's Holland? Rodriguez Holland. Daniel Rodriguez is fighting Kevin Holland. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, what a fucking weird fucking matchup. UFC 318, New Orleans, Louisiana. Nah, I got Holland. Tell them why you haven't streamed. Guru, do you think I'll be a taker? I've already read it. Thank you for the 7. They gave Andreas Gustafsson Renat Fakretinov in his next fucking fight. Andreas Gustafsson's gonna kill him, dude. Get rid of him. What weird matchups, man. Mason Jones versus Balaji Oki. I mean, alright. The fuck is this matchmaking? Brian Ortega, Aljamain Sterling. Why? Why everything to give Ortega any chance of success his whole career? What weird matchups up and down all over the place here. Very, very strange. I don't get what the UFC's doing. Even Jared Gordon versus Rafa Garcia, like, I don't know. Who do you think has the best kick in the UFC? In history? Pedro Hizzo, man. People forget, man. Pedro Hizzo. Marauder with the calf kicks. No, I don't know who. Best kicks in the UFC right now are probably Volkanovski. Not in terms of the debilitation of them, but in terms of the effectiveness of the technique. I'd say Volkanovski. He always seems to work his kicks on everyone, you know, no matter who they are. Whereas other fighters just don't typically, like even Pereira, you know, he has to hold back throwing kicks against certain opponents, you know. So I say Volt. I don't think it's Alex. I don't think so. I don't think he has better kicks. They're good for a heavier guy, but they're not. Dude, Volk is working him against any featherweight or lightweight that comes up against him. Against Makhachev, Volk was turning into kicks off of punch combinations. You know how crazy that is? Like, Volk was doing 1-2 step through with the low kick off the rear. Like, it's insane to how many different styles Volk can still pull it off against, in my opinion. People forget, man, Moicano dropped Islam in the first 10 seconds. You know how much I want to believe that as reality. But you know what? True, dude. He actually did drop him earlier. Can you imagine if Moicano pulled it off? The shock that I felt when he did that and dropped him earlier was actually fucking insane, man. We dropped Makhachev. Rob, it's true. We dropped him. We dropped him in the first round. Dude, the crowd pop when he dropped him as well. Ah! Everyone went crazy for a second, and it wasn't even a fucking punch. Whoa! Everyone went crazy that Makhachev had hit the canvas. Oh, dude, you know what, yeah? I'm done hearing about how good Makhachev's striking is. Before Makhachev gets any grappling threat off, his striking is fucking dog shit, you know? Moving forward offensively, he just can't do it. He can't strike moving forward. He has good kicks off his rear leg, and he has decent counter ability that's not going to KO you. Other than that, his striking is so overrated, man. I'm done hearing, oh, he looked good against this guy in the striking. Just watching some of the things he does out there in fights, moving forward especially, is just like, fucking hell. He's very well-rounded, but his striking is piss poor in moments. Dude, Money Moit was kind of doing his thing against Makhachev. Landed a body kick as well. Sat him down for a moment. We're 2 minutes into the fight here. Dude, Moicano must have been fucking hyped after that one. Moicano body kick here. Bang to the ribs. He was doing all right. Makhachev is great, though. He is really good. I'm not denying it. But his striking is overrated, I think. Moicano had aura in those first few minutes. Dude, jab from Moicano and then a takedown and it's over. I don't need to watch anymore. I'm done watching. But for the first 2.5 minutes there, Moicano was kind of doing his thing. No one can say they head kicked Volt. True.